This is Basic Weaving for Beginners, and I'm Lydia See, resident artist at the Spartanburg County Public Library in partnership with Hubbub. So today we're going to be talking about basic weaving, which includes the anatomy of a loom, how to warp or string a loom, and how to start a weaving. So we'll be using a frame loom, which is this giant community loom here. But also frame looms can be as simple as a small piece of wood. You can make them out of a picture frame. You can also make them out of PVC pipe, any number of materials. What I've done with this loom is created something that's scalable and that's large enough for multiple people to be using at the same time. So the basic anatomy of a loom is the crossing of threads. Pretty simple. The thread that goes up and down on this loom is called a warp, and the thread that goes side to side is called the weft. When you're weaving, you're crossing the weft over and under the warp. On a smaller loom, you would wrap your warp like so, and then this can be woven on your lap. It's an individual size loom. On this loom, it's a community size loom, so it's designed for multiple people to be able to weave at the same time and contribute and collaborate to a larger work together. So the basic weave, or the plain weave, is the most easily learned weave, and that's mostly what we'll do. And it is taking your left thread, which is your left to right or your horizontal, and going over, under, or in and out of your warp. And the easiest way to do that is to select the warp threads that you're going under and pull them out and slide your weft in. Now, any number of textures can be created just with the plain weave by using different size of threads, yarns, shredded fabric, any number of things. So now that you understand the basic anatomy of a loom and how to do a plain weave, let's get started. Grab some fiber and let's weave. So on the community loom, you can start from anywhere, and you're pulling out the warp opposite of the row that came before you to make your plain weave. And I'm using this ruler just so it's a little bit easier to see. Once you've pulled out those opposite threads, you can do this with your fingers or with a flat edge like a ruler or a piece of cardboard. And then you just tuck in the fiber that you're weaving in. So that creates that every other or opposite texture. And just like with this ribbon over here, I'm going every other, using my fingers to pull out those warp threads, tucking the ribbon in this case giving it a little twist just because I like the way it looks, and then using my fingers to scrunch it down. And yes, scrunch is a technical term. So a basic frame loom can look like this or like this, and you can make a basic frame loom out of almost anything. These I made out of plywood. I cut the square out and then cut these cuts on the top and bottom for the work threads. Now you could also make this out of a picture frame with nails and pretty much anything. The only thing that you really need is a pretty sturdy frame, and you want your nails or your cuts on the top and bottom to be even, in that they're the same on both sides, and also that it's an even number of cuts or nails. And the way that you warp a frame loom like this, or thread or string your loom, is pretty easy. You just tie it off on the side, and I'm just going to do a pretend tie. Tie it off on the side here. You want to make sure that's nice and snug. And then you start at the bottom, and you just wrap around. Now, one side, when you do this wrap, is going to be parallel, and the other side is going to be diagonal, just because that's the side that you're flipping over to the next nail on. So as you can see, these lines are parallel to each other. They're up and down nice and even, and then the back side is a slight diagonal, just because you're going from that to that on the back side. So when you start your weaving, it's not really a big deal, but you probably want to weave on the parallel side. Eventually, when you've filled this entire frame up, you'll cut your weaving off along the back here, and then just knot your weaving at the top and bottom. So once you've finished your weaving, this is an example of a first-time weaver who made a weaving out of fabric scraps, yarn from the studio here, as well as yarn from her own house. She's filled it up. When she's ready to cut it off, she's going to cut right in the middle of this frame loom here. With the frame loom face down on a table, lift the frame off of the weaving and just do double knots along the top and the bottom. As long as those knots are secure, you can then string your weaving up on a dowel or a branch or anything you have laying around the house, and maybe even add a little embellishment on the bottom if you'd like. And these are just double square knots, just like you would double knot your shoes, and you just want to make sure that those are nice and secure before you put them on a branch or a dowel. And that's Weaving 101.